All right, today we're tackling a big one, the Trickster, Mythology's ultimate rule breaker.
So, let me ask you something. Why does every single culture seem to have a soft spot for a rule breaker? I mean, think about it. It's a pattern you see everywhere, and it says something really deep about who we are. So let's dig in. You know these characters. They're everywhere, from ancient myths all the way to modern movies. They're the ones who lie, they cheat, they just love to stir the pot. But here's the thing. What if all that chaos, all that mischief, actually has a really important job to do? And that brings us to this incredible idea. This paradox, really. Why would society need a troublemaker? Well, that's what we're diving into first.
Okay, so what is a trickster, really? Well, if we get a little academic for a second, the official definition calls them a cross-cultural archetype. Basically, they're the figure whose whole purpose is to smash rules and cross boundaries. They're both creators and destroyers, and their main tool? Chaos. They use it to literally transform culture.
And get this is not a new concept. Not at all. A scholar named Paul Radin made the case that the trickster is probably the oldest mythological figure we have, like in all of human tradition. That means we've been fascinated with rule breakers since the very beginning.
So, if they've been around forever and pop up everywhere, what makes a trickster a trickster? Let's break down the key ingredients.
It really boils down to 5 main things. First, and this is the big one, they are all about rule breaking. Second, they're often shapeshifters. They can change who or what they are in a heartbeat. Third, their weapon of choice is almost always humor and wit. Fourth, they're not good guys or bad guys. They live in that moral gray area. And finally, and this is crucial, all of this adds up to one thing. They are agents of transformation.
You know, the writer Lewis Hyde put it perfectly. He said, their chaos clarifies order. And that's it, right there. That's the whole magic trick. By breaking the rules, they actually make us look at the rules and ask, hey, why do we even have this rule in the first place? And do we still need it?
Okay, so now that we know what to look for, let's go find them. We're going to take a quick trip around the world to meet some of mythology's greatest hits when it comes to causing trouble. Let's start at the top, with what you might call divine tricksters. These are the ones who hang out with the gods, right in the heart of these super-structured pantheons. And their job? Basically to be a constant headache and shake things up.
2 perfect examples come to mind. You've got Hermes from Greek mythology. Yeah, he's the messenger god, but he's also a master thief who loves crossing boundaries. And then, of course, there's Loki in Norse myth. He's the ultimate pot stirrer, a shapeshifter whose whole goal is to create chaos among the gods in Asgard. Both of them are insiders causing trouble. But okay, tricksters aren't just about messing with a world that's already built. Sometimes, their chaos is literally the act of building the world in the first place. These are the creator tricksters.
So for example, in many Plains tribes traditions you have Coyote. He's a creator god, he helps shape the world, but he does it by being greedy and foolish and playing tricks. Or look at Raven from the Pacific Northwest. How does he bring light to the world? He steals it. For these figures, breaking the rules is how things get made. They're 2 sides of the same coin.
So we've seen this big global pattern. But now let's zoom in, because this is where it gets really interesting. How does this universal character put on a local mask, you know? How do they reflect the specific worries and values of one particular culture? Because that's the key. The trickster archetype is universal, but it always speaks with a local accent. It's tailored to whatever a society is grappling with. And for a really great case study on this, we're going to look at the Philippines. Okay, check this out. You have a character like Juan Tamad, who's known for being super lazy. On the surface, it's just a funny story, but it can also be seen as a way to push back against forced colonial labor, right? Then there's Pilandok, a clever little mouse deer who always outsmarts bigger animals. That's a story that says brains beat brawn, especially when you're up against the powerful. And then there's Pusong, a witty fool who makes fun of the upper class. Every single one of these figures uses their specific trick to poke holes in the local power structure. All right, all of this has been building to one big, final question. What's the point? What is the ultimate goal of all of this chaos and rule breaking?
So, let's get down to it. Is all this disruption just for fun? Are tricksters just here to watch the world burn? Or are they trying to build something new from the ashes?
Really, the whole debate boils down to 2 camps. On one side, you have the view that they're just agents of chaos. You know, they cause trouble and then just walk away.
On the other side, the argument is that, no, they're agents of change. They use that disruption as a tool to point out what's broken and to push society forward.
So, what's the verdict? Well, it seems the answer is they're both. And here's why that's not a contradiction. The chaos is the tool, not the end goal. A trickster kicks down a door just to see if the lock was any good. By creating a little bit of disorder, they test the boundaries of a culture, and that's what opens up the space for things to actually change.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. If the trickster's entire job is to question the status quo, to poke fun at authority, who do you think they bother the most? It's the people in power, right? The ones who like things just the way they are. The ones who have the most to lose when things change. And maybe that's why we've always kept them around.